These sensitive ass that just came out of this little, I don't know where they come from, but niggas be getting wild emotional. Niggas be turning into big super police. Just be trying to have fun.
To ever try to front me, hit you with no delay. So what you saying, yo? Should have with that 9 milli, but the killer, yo. Yeah, I can hit better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes show.
Right?
Yeah.
I know
he did it.
You've been heavy on social media.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now.
I'm walking through the crowd and somebody grabs my hand. Just softly put their hand in my hand and just holding it. So I look, and I see this big chain that said flip mode. I look up and it's Busta Rhymes.
Yeah. They call them fun boys. They'll say, we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't coming.
Busta Rhymes is heated right now, like seriously losing it. And word on the street is that he's allegedly threatening 50 Cent over some wild footage that's supposed to drop in 50's upcoming documentary on Diddy. And this ain't just some random rumor. Insiders say the footage is damning. Now we already know 50's been keeping tabs on Diddy for years, collecting dirt from all those infamous FO parties, the ones everyone in the industry pretends don't exist. But what's got Busta straight up sweating? Sources claim there's real video of him right in the middle of the madness with Diddy. And trust, that's just the start of it. Months back, Busta's former bodyguard, a dude named Big Homie CC, aired it all out. He said Busta been into fun boys for years, and that the club scene always knew what time it was. According to him, when Busta pulled up to VIP, promoters had specific dudes on standby just to keep him smiling. Like, they had a whole lineup ready for him every time. And now, it's looking like 50 might actually have video proof to match the talk. Insiders say there's footage from one of those wild parties, and in it, Busta and Diddy are allegedly caught in a full-blown freak session with multiple men. And these ain't just party guests, the whispers say they were workers that Diddy himself brought in. But wait, it gets even messier. Several men are now coming forward saying Busta made inappropriate moves on them in the past. They're claiming that every time they bumped into him, he was trying to drag them into a Diddy-style party vibe. And we're not talking casual invites. They say it was aggressive. At this point, it's looking real bad for Busta. 50's documentary isn't even out yet, and the streets are already buzzing. And now with Busta allegedly threatening 50, man, that might have just earned him even more screen time in the doc. With all the heat surrounding Busta Rhymes lately, you already know 50 Cent wasn't about to stay quiet, not for a second. Right before stepping on stage with Busta at the Humor and Harmony Comedy Fest, 50 threw some playful shade that might have actually been more serious than folks realized. He joked that Busta might show up rocking that wild yellow fit from the 1999 MTV VMAs. Yup, that infamous Banana Bright outfit. 50 even dropped a throwback pic of Busta in that loud getup with the caption, "Busta cannot wear this to Humor and Harmony. Busta, I don't care who made the outfit. You gotta come with some fly-ish to Shreveport. LOL." But Busta? He clapped right back. He posted an AI-generated pic of 50 looking goofy with the caption, "I keep telling you, the blessings don't stop, so we ain't never gonna stop. I thought it was Father's Day, 50 Cent. And you out here looking like this? Don't let me find out this how you be in the mirror prepping your Shreveport fit." Now at first, everyone thought they were just trolling, having fun, right? But behind the scenes, it might have been a lot deeper. Because now, insiders are whispering that 50 wasn't just cracking jokes. He might actually be holding on to some crazy footage of Busta getting wild with Diddy. But before we even dive into that, let's rewind to those spicy allegations about Busta's VIP behavior. If you missed it, Busta's former bodyguard, Big Homie CC, pulled up to the Art of Dialogue and didn't hold nothing back. He called Busta a super zest monster and said the man's been moving suspect around young dudes for years. Big Homie claimed it's been one of those open secrets in the industry, especially in the club scene. According to him, anytime Busta got booked for a party, the promoters already knew what time it was. They allegedly made sure his VIP was loaded with exactly the kind of entertainment he liked. Big homie CC didn't hold anything back when he talked about one unforgettable night in the club, and it involved none other than actor and model Don Benjamin and one of Don's close friends, a gay man. According to Big Homie, the moment Busta Rhymes locked eyes on that dude, it was go mode. He said Busta moved in fast, like zero hesitation, pulled the man straight into his VIP section, and once he was in, he wasn't getting out. Big Homie claimed Busta was glued to the guy the entire night, constantly hovering, whispering, and making sure the man didn't move an inch without him noticing. And this wasn't some rare thing either. Big Homie said this type of scene played out all the time. The club promoters, they were already prepared. When Busta was on the guest list, they allegedly lined up the finest men to keep him entertained, because once Busta set his eyes on someone, that was it. The night was locked in. Big Homie even said Busta was calling the guy cute all night long, loud and bold like he didn't care who heard. And once that man was in VIP, it was like being trapped in a velvet rope cage. Now, no leaving, no slipping out, just stuck under Busta's full attention. But here's where things take an even darker turn. Big Homie dropped a major claim. The industry's been aware of Busta's true preferences for over a decade. When asked why no one ever outed him, Big Homie said it's simple. Everybody wants to be in that VIP section with Busta. Then came the real bombshell. Big Homie hinted at Busta's alleged history of getting physical with women, something that barely ever gets talked about. And according to him, there might be a deeper layer to it. He suggested that like many men who live double lives, Busta could be carrying internal resentment toward women, and it's allegedly playing out in very unhealthy ways. If you think this is just one ex-bodyguard stirring up drama for clout, think again. A whole lineup of men has stepped forward, each with their own wild story about Busta Rhymes. One of the earliest to speak out was social media personality Trip Alley, who went public back in 2020 with a story that had folks raising eyebrows. He jumped on YouTube and claimed that Busta personally tried to scoop him up one night in New York City, right as Trip was heading to a Halloween party. According to Trip, it started off innocent. Busta pulled up, invited him to slide into VIP, and at first, Trip thought it was just some regular club vibes, nothing major. But nah, this wasn't your typical night out. Things spiraled real quick when Trip and his friend got into a heated argument. His friend wasn't feeling the idea of hitting Busta's party at all, and it didn't stop there. That disagreement turned into a full-on fight right there in the streets. Trip was so shook by the whole scene that he ended up ditching the entire plan. No party, no VIP, nothing. His friend ended up wilding out and straight up left him stranded in the middle of New York City. But looking back, Trip said that might have actually been a blessing in disguise, because with everything that's coming out now, who knows what could have really gone down in that VIP section. Fast forward to 2021, and guess what? The streets were buzzing again. Busta Rhymes was allegedly back outside doing the same old thing. Word was flying that he was once again trying to pick up men, and then things got even messier. Paparazzi reportedly caught him leaving a gay pride event, and not just alone, but with a trans woman by his side. The pics never went viral, but the whispers, they were loud. And just when things were cooling down, Orlando Brown came out of nowhere and had the internet in complete chaos again. He dropped a bomb in one of his rants, claiming he had hooked up with multiple industry men, not just Diddy, but Busta Rhymes too. And apparently he wasn't the only one. Now look, most people brush Orlando off when he starts going off on wild tangents, but lately, he's been looking a lot more focused in his interviews. If you actually sit and listen, some of what he's saying starts to connect in strange ways. Now the whole DL talk surrounding Busta is one thing, but here's what really needs more attention. The pattern of Busta putting his hands on people over the pettiest stuff. Just like what's been said about Diddy, Busta's got his own long list of incidents that don't look too good. His legal issues stretch way back, all the way to 2006, when prosecutors tried to slap him with a weapons charge over an altercation with some random passerby. And that was just one example. According to Billboard, Busta wasn't just rolling around like your average celeb. They claimed he had a whole machete stashed in his ride. Like, who does that? But it didn't stop there. Fast forward to 2007 and Busta was right back in the headlines. This time, he got hit with a misdemeanor charge after allegedly roughing up his former driver during a money dispute. And it wasn't just some shouting match. He was arrested over it. In the end, Busta pleaded guilty to both the machete and assault charges and landed 3 years of probation. But the chaos didn't stop. In 2009, the New York Post blew up another messy situation. Busta had to pay out $75,000 to a fan. Why? Because that fan claimed Busta launched water bottles at him and told his bodyguard to punch him in the face. And get this, the fan wasn't even causing a scene. According to him, he showed up to the event hoping to see Fabulous, but when Fab didn't show, he tried to quietly leave during Busta's set. That's when Busta allegedly snapped. Witnesses said he started yelling, "Get down! I'm not good enough for you!" before throwing 2 more bottles and signaling his bodyguard to swing. With that kind of temper, it ain't too surprising Busta's been tight with Diddy since way back in the 90s. These two, they've always seemed to move in similar ways, and it might be deeper than just music or business, because now, people are pointing out that Busta and Diddy allegedly share more than just anger issues. Word is, they've both got a thing for much younger men. So check this out. Billboard once reported that Busta Rhymes was rolling around with a whole machete hidden in his car. Not a knife, a machete, like it was straight out a movie. Then in 2007, boom, Busta's back in trouble again. This time, he got arrested on a misdemeanor charge after allegedly roughing up his own driver during a money dispute. And guess what? He ended up pleading guilty. Not just to that, but to both charges on his record. The court gave him 3 years of probation. But the drama, it didn't stop there, not even close. By 2009, things got even uglier. The New York Post dropped the T. Busta had to hand over $75,000 to a fan who claimed the rapper lost it during a show. According to the fan, he was just trying to leave early after finding out Fabulous wasn't performing. But Busta allegedly snapped. The fan said he stood up quietly to dip out, and Busta started screaming, "Get down! I'm not good enough for you!" before hurling 2 more water bottles straight at him. Then, according to the lawsuit, Busta told his bodyguard to punch the man in the face. With a temper like that, it's no wonder he's been close with Diddy since the 90s. But yo, this might go way deeper than just shared anger issues. Word is, these two allegedly have something else in common, a taste for much younger men. And let's keep it all the way real. Busta's whole energy around this Diddy situation, it's looking mad suspicious. When the allegations against Diddy first started bubbling, what did Busta do? He jumped out with a little PSA, telling fans to reserve judgment. Like, why would you even feel the need to say that unless you're low-key trying to defend somebody? And when we're talking about serious accusations, DVSA, multiple victims, and even mentions of younger individuals, telling people to mind their business makes you look real sketchy. But now that Diddy's whole empire is collapsing in real time with federal raids, lawsuits stacking up, and an official indictment on the table, Busta's out here acting like he don't even know the man. He's dodging questions, playing it cool, pretending like he was never close to Diddy. But let's stop pretending. Folks, remember, the pics, the parties, the decades of club appearances, that history don't just disappear. And here's where it gets serious. Word on the street is that 50 Cent's upcoming Diddy documentary is about to drop real names. And Busta Rhymes? Yeah, he's allegedly on that list. And one thing about 50, he don't let things slide. He's one of the few rappers who straight up refused to party with Diddy. He caught the vibes early, and he stayed away from the shady scenes that were going down behind the velvet ropes. See, the thing about 50 Cent, he's always moved chess style, never rushed, always strategic. Just cause he wasn't in those Diddy party circles doesn't mean he wasn't watching everything from the sidelines. You already know 50's been taking mental notes for years, clocking every rapper who said yes to Diddy's invites, every face in the room, every VIP moment. And now, his moment has finally arrived. He's about to blow the lid off. Word on the street is that 50's upcoming Diddy documentary is shaping up to be the industry's worst nightmare. No one is off limits. No crew, no clique, no rapper is safe. Insiders say the whispers we've heard for years about certain artists getting wild behind closed doors with Diddy are finally getting receipts attached. And Busta Rhymes? Yeah, his name is definitely on that list. Now, we might not have a solid release date just yet, but here's what we do know. The documentary is being produced by G-Unit Films and Television Inc., and it's headed straight to Netflix. So you know this ain't some low-budget rumor dump. It's about to be high-definition chaos. And the director? Emmy Award winner Alex Stapleton, a serious storyteller who doesn't pull punches. That means we're looking at real production value, real research, and real names getting dropped. But here's where things take a twist. Sources close to Busta say he's already feeling the pressure. Word is, he's been scrambling behind the scenes, trying to make calls, pull favors, and warn 50 to leave his name out the project. Like, why panic now unless you already know what's coming? 50's not the type to cave under pressure. If anything, Busta's alleged warning probably just guaranteed he'll get even more screen time. But let's be real. Busta trying to warn 50, that probably just made him double down harder. If you know anything about 50 Cent, then you already know. The man lives to prove a point. The second you try to shut him up, he just gets louder, bolder, and way more relentless. So if Busta's really on that list of names tied to Diddy's alleged chaos, there's no way 50's cutting him out now. In fact, that warning might have just guaranteed Busta gets front row exposure. Now here's the real question. What's Busta so worried about? If there's nothing to hide, why not stay quiet and keep it moving? Why all the behind the scenes panic? Could it be that he knows something's about to come out? Or is his name just getting dragged into a storm he had nothing to do with? Let's talk about it. Do you think Busta Rhymes was really involved in Diddy's alleged mess? Or is this just guilt by association? And more importantly, is 50 Cent's Netflix documentary about to rock the whole industry and expose secrets that were never supposed to see daylight? Sound off in the comments below. I want to hear what you think. And don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who needs to see this, and tap that bell so you don't miss the next explosive update. I'll catch you in the next one. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.